Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Bigly Cosplay, and in today's video, we're doing another cosplay DIY. I'm going to be taking a hoodie and making it work for my Korra cosplay from Legend of Korra. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and now let's jump right into the video. So this is the hoodie that I'm using as the base for this cosplay. I got this off of Amazon. It's just a plain navy blue men's hoodie. I got it in a large, and that sizing actually worked out perfectly for what I needed it for. So the first thing that I wanted to work on was getting rid of the pocket on the hoodie. I didn't need the pocket for anything, and Korra's hoodie doesn't have a pocket on it, so that's what I was going to get rid of first. And what I did to get rid of this pocket was to actually go into the stitching of it. There's stitching right at the very top of it. I went straight into the stitching itself and started cutting that up to get rid of the pocket completely. And once I was done going across the top, I also went along the sides to get rid of those small areas as well. And this is what the pocket looked like when I had cut everything up. And now I'm not going to worry about the bottom half, because to achieve the same shape that Korra's hoodie has, I am going to be cutting most of that anyway. So here with some tape, I've kind of done a mock-up of how I want the bottom half of the hoodie to look. I kind of like tried it on and then taped it up to try to get the shape that I want, and this is kind of what I came up with. And I was really nervous about this, but I just went ahead and cut it. I was like, whatever, if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. And this edge doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be covering it in fur anyway, so I just went ahead and cut everything. And this is how it looked after I cut it. And while I had it on, I went ahead and cut off the little strings that were in the hoodie. And then I tried on the hoodie so that we could figure out where to cut the sleeves. Here I'm kind of measuring out. I want it to stop like near the inside of my elbow. I'm marking it out with like an eyeliner pen. And once I've gotten like it to where I want, I go ahead and cut it. And once I did one arm, I folded the sleeves over each other and then did the exact same thing to the other one, trying to get them as even as possible. I'm gonna be honest, they are not even. One side is definitely longer than the other. I didn't film this, but I actually went back through and cut it so they were a bit more even. And this is how it looked when I had everything cut out, and you can definitely see the unevenness in the arms here, but again, like I said, I went back through and cleaned all that up. But now that all of the shaping is done, it's time to go through and actually start adding the fur to all of the areas on the hoodie. And this is the craft fur that I'm using. It's by the brand Creatology. I feel like I've used this a couple times before. It's just like one small sheet of craft fur. Now I'm starting off with just cutting strips out of the fur first, and once I have enough of those, I'm going to go ahead and start adding them to the hoodie with it. But at first I'm going to make sure I have enough before I get started doing that. Now I would recommend sewing if you know how to sew, but since I don't sew, I am using my hot glue gun, and I'm starting by adding the fur in the shoulder area. I started here because there's a seam right on the shoulder, and I used that seam as a bit of a placement guide for where I wanted this fur to go. It's going to be this piece here on Korra's outfit, and I'm just going to do a little bit at a time, add a little bit of hot glue, and then press the fur into it. And I did that all the way around, and I had to add another strip for the back, and I just cut it to size and overlap them to try to blend the two strips into each other. And then I'm going to repeat that exact same process in the other shoulder area. And once the areas for the shoulders are completed, I'm going to move on to doing it around the sleeves. And again, I'm just repeating the process, adding a little hot glue and attaching the fur. And this process started to get really repetitive, so I didn't want to show you guys every single thing, but I'm also repeating the exact same process around the bottom edge of the hoodie. And then once I'm done there, I'm going to do the exact same thing around the hood itself. And with that excess fur hanging off of the hood, I'm going to hot glue that down, bending the whole strip of fur over. And I do that so there's no harsh line from where I cut the fur. I also did that on the bottom seam where I added the fur on the bottom of the hoodie as well. I folded it over underneath. And now I'm just using some tape to get some of that loose craft fur up, because there was a lot of it everywhere. And this is how the hoodie was looking after adding all of the fur onto it. I am so happy with how it looks here, but we have one more thing to add. It's this little hexagon shaped piece here on Korra's, so I'm going to go make that really quick. So I traced out a hexagon shape onto some paper that was about the size that I would need for this, and then I used one of the leftover sleeves that we cut off earlier, and I traced the hexagon shape onto that sleeve, and then I cut the hexagon shape out completely. Once that was cut out, I folded the edges of the hexagon shape over so that there were no harsh lines. And then I found this white fabric paint, and then I used some of this tape to mask off the edges of the hexagon that we previously cut. And then I drew a mini hexagon and put that inside of it. And then I just filled in the areas that were left with the white fabric paint. And then once I peeled away the tape and everything was dry, I just hot glued it straight down into the middle of the hoodie as close as where hers was. And this is the finished product. So this is how it looks when everything is completed and done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had so much fun putting this together. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok to keep up with all my other cosplay antics, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!